So the healer is only the catalyst, much as this instrument has the catalyst necessary to provide channel for Ra's words. Yet by example or exercise of any kind, the healer can take no thought for this working. The healing or working is congruent in that it is a form of channeling some distortion of the intelligent infinity. The group decided, to learn the honor and duty of learning and teaching the healing process. For healing, as an example, the body and mind must be open and receptive. The spirit then goes up the entity's energy or will, and the streamings of creative fire and wind go down the body. So, let the spirit go up through the body, and the streamings of creative fire and wind go down the body for healing. I am Ra. We shall begin with the first of the 3 teachings or learnings. So, we begin with the mental learnings and teachings that are necessary for contact with intelligent infinity. The prerequisite for this kind of mental work is, honestly, the ability to retain silence of self at a steady state whenever it's required by the self. The mind, well, it must be opened like a door. And the key really is silence. Within that door, there lies a hierarchical construction you might liken to geography and, in some ways, geometry, because the hierarchy is actually quite regular, bearing these inner relationships. To begin mastering the concept of mental disciplines, it is necessary to examine the self. The polarity of your dimension, well, it must be internalized. Where you find patience within your mind, you must consciously find the corresponding impatience, and vice versa. Each thought a being has in its turn has an antithesis, an opposite. The disciplines of the mind involve, first of all, identifying both those things of which you approve and those things of which you disapprove within yourself, and then balancing each and every positive and negative charge with its equal. The mind contains all things, so therefore you must discover this completeness within yourself. So, the second mental discipline is acceptance of the completeness within your consciousness. It's not really for a being of polarity in the physical consciousness to just pick and choose among attributes, because that ends up building the roles that cause blockages and confusions in the already distorted mind complex. Each acceptance, smooths part of the many distortions that the faculty you call judgment actually creates. The third discipline of the mind is kind of a repetition of the first, but this time with the gaze outward toward the fellow entities that you meet. In each entity, there exists completeness. So, the ability to understand each balance is necessary. When you view patience, you are responsible for mirroring in your mental understandings patience and impatience. And when you view impatience, it's necessary for your mental configuration of understanding to be impatience and patience. We're just using this as a simple example. Most configurations of mind have many facets, and understanding of either self-polarities or what you might call other self-polarities can and must be understood as subtle work. The next step is the acceptance of the other self-polarities, which actually mirrors the second step. These are the first 4 steps of learning mental disciplines. The 5th step involves observing the geographical and geometrical relationships and ratios of the mind, the other mind, the mass mind, and the infinite mind. So, the second area of learn and teaching is the study and understanding of the body complexes. It's necessary to really know your body well. This means using your mind to look at how your feelings, your biases, and what you'd call your emotions actually affect different parts of your body complex. And yet, it'll be important to both understand the bodily polarity and to accept them, kind of repeating in a chemical or physical way the work you've already done with the mind by thinking about your own consciousness. The body is a creature of the mind's creation. It has its biases. The biological bias must be first completely understood, and then, the opposite bias allowed to find full expression in understanding. Again, the process of acceptance of the body as a balanced as well as polarized individual may then be accomplished. It is then the task to extend this understanding to the bodies of the other selves whom you will meet. The simplest example of this is the understanding that each biological male is female. Each biological female is male. This is a simple example. However, in almost every case wherein you are attempting the understanding of the body of self or other self, you will again find that the most subtle discernment is necessary in order to fully grasp the polarity complexes involved. At this time, we would suggest closing the description until the next time of work, so that we may devote time to the third area commensurate or equal in measure with its importance. I am Ra. The candle would be rotated clockwise approximately 10 degrees each session to improve the flow of spiraled energy through the being's receiving mechanisms. This particular configuration is well otherwise, but we ask that the objects described and used be centered with geometric care and checked from time to time. Also, that they not be exposed to that space and time in which work is not of importance.